Child, we getting into some things today. I think, like, as I'm painting, or as I'm facilitating, things come together just on their own. You know what I mean? I can put two colors together and it makes this brand new color, the way I put it on canvas, and that may not have been the intention. I may not have intended to use that color at all, but now it becomes part of the piece and part of the story, you know, when it comes to the final product. And that's the same thing with facilitating, right? I may have come in with, I want to do these things in this particular program. I want to have this conversation with this youth. I want to lead this game in this way, right? And as you know, things don't always work out that way. And what does end up happening, right, is probably what was meant to happen and probably the best thing for that moment. You know what I mean? I think if I'm thinking in the context of Moonlight and how that shows up in the movie, and then how it shows up in the field and how I see it, and how it maybe even shows up in my own life. You know, I think about Chiron, right? And we think about how he kind of embarks on his you know, what his queerness is when he's very, very young, which is something that's very relatable to me. And it made me, in this movie, it made me think about how our youth are so much more aware of their circumstances, of their identity, than we think they are, right? Because they may not even speak on it as often, but they are aware of it, right? They're reminded of who they are and how they exist in it, which is why I think it's so important when it comes to facilitating our programs, is to remind our youth, or through, you know, the activities and the little short, small lessons that we kind of teach through facilitating, is that choice is so important, right? Because though you can't control what's outside of you, right? Or maybe what was in you when you were born, you know what I mean? You can't control a lot of those things. How you choose to let that work for you, that is what you have power over. You know, Moonlight as a movie is about power over your mental state, you know what I mean? I was a very quiet kid and I didn't have much to say, which is very reminiscent of the type of youth that we have sometimes, which is why I completely, like, you know what I mean? I understand what it's like to be shy. I'm still a very shy person. That's the gag. You know what I mean? I've just grown up and know how to push myself, and where to push myself. I think one thing that I would say to little Michael, I don't know if I would say anything, to be honest with you. I feel like the trusted adult that I needed at that time in my life, which, you know, in some ways, you know, I had that trusted adult, in some ways I didn't, but I think the biggest thing that I needed at that time was someone to see me. I think a lot of the time I felt very invisible, and I used to get bullied a lot because of my physical appearance and the things that I was interested in. I felt like no one actually was paying attention to me, but more so paying attention to my physical appearance, and the things that I was doing. Yeah, I don't think the adult Michael would say anything. I think the adult Michael would sit next to little Michael and be like, hey, I see you. If you need anybody, if you need somebody to talk to, you know, I'm your guy. You know what I'm saying? And seriously, you are loved and there's somebody here for you. You know what I mean? I think I needed that at that time. And I think a lot of our youth do. is someone to just say that I'm here and I'm present, and someone to be consistent with that, someone who really is there and someone who is really present, which I, love about what I do, is that I am able to be consistent and I'm able to show up. Sometimes that's enough, is just showing up and being in the room. A smile, a wave, a little personal handshake. These are things that I do in the field now. And, a lot of the time, I'm glad we were talking about this. A lot of the time I don't really see the significance of it. But now that I'm thinking about it in context of me, giving it to myself, they make a huge difference in someone's life. Sometimes you just need someone to say that I'm here and I see you. Sometimes that's enough. If the younger me was able to see the Moonlight painting, I think they would be surprised, because the artist behind the painting and the painting itself is like a lot further than I thought I would ever be able to go. And I think that painting would really give him hope that whatever is happening at that moment, it's just that moment, and life goes on. And there's so much beauty and joy that's out there for him. It's been unbelievable, my life. I mean, seriously. And the fact that I'm still here and I'm still happy about it, it's like crazy. And if the little version of me was able to see this version of me and who I grew up to be, I genuinely think they would be gagged. How are you? How are you still going? I fail to see that I'm inspired by a lot of people in my life, my father included, but I am an inspiring story myself, and I don't realize that sometimes. I'm a survivor, in the words of Destiny's Child. That's crazy, When you're going through things, especially as a young person, it's hard to see that you're going through it and you're not going to get stuck and things are going to keep moving. It's easy to feel like stuff is the end, but it's not. Every day is a new beginning, a new opportunity to make new choices and be a new person. You know what I mean? You are truly the captain of your own ship, the main character of your own series. You know what I mean? It keeps going and it keeps changing, and there's so much life, and I truly have the opportunity to be a new version of me every time I wake up. Today might not have been that good, but I'm waking up the next morning feeling like it's a new opportunity to make it a better day. You know what I mean? And to make better choices and be better to people and be a better version of me that existed yesterday. All of those past mistakes, those past successes, those all make up who you are and how you're able to move forward. And that's so beautiful.